Hey everyone, welcome to Two Car Pros. My name is Ryan, and today I'm going to show you exactly how to change the window motor and regulator for a 2008 Chevrolet Impala. This is pretty darn easy, so let's jump into it. So as you can see, my window is completely down into the door. I'm going to assume yours is probably that way too because you clicked on this video. But if your glass is up and won't come down, that's awesome. I'm just going to assume a worst case scenario, which is the glass in the door completely like this one. See, nothing works. So this motor has gone bad, or maybe the regulator's bad. Doesn't matter, needs replacing. I'm gonna show you how to do it. So the first thing we're gonna do is take off this reflector, and you can do this with a small standard screwdriver. I like this body clip puller. Seems to work pretty good. And there's a little bolt right there. So now we're gonna take a 7mm socket and remove that bolt. There we go. So right here where the door handle is another little access door that you can remove, the small standard screwdriver. And check that out, another fastener. So that fastener is known as a Torx, and the size is 30, so it's a T30, and the link is located down below in the description. In case you don't have one, they're a little strange. And there we go. Get that guy out of there. And then right here where your hand goes when you close the door, just remove this little rubber piece and exposes two more fasteners. And these are T30s as well. There we go, perfect. And right here on this portion of the door is this trim piece that we can just kind of grab and pull towards yourself, like that. So with all of our fasteners removed, we can take the bottom of the door and kind of pull up on it, like this. Make sure it comes off the lock indicator. You can even push that down so the door's locked, that's fine. And kind of shimmy it out like that. So next we need to get this cable out of there on the back side of the door handle, that bit that actually moves. So what you can do is just take a pair of needle nose pliers and just bring the tail of it over and out. Really, really easy. I wasn't even watching when I did it. And then there's two fingers on the end of the shift cable right here that you need to squeeze and depress and kind of get them out of their holder. Right there is one finger, there's the other. So you kind of pinch them in like this with the pair of pliers, like that, and then you can shimmy it out of its home. So here's the electrical connector for the entire door, what it's basically holding on by now, which is not awesome. I'm just doing this for instructional purposes. If I wasn't filming, I wouldn't let it hold on by the connector. So you just grab it and open it up like that. Should work. Nice. Now with our door panel taken away, we can just remove this sound deadening. It's usually just glued to the door. We want to keep this in okay shape because we can reuse it later. There we go. So right here is the electrical connector for the regulator itself, or the motor, and we can just unplug that. There we go. Put that aside. So I tell you how to do this job if the window motor completely just doesn't work. Take a pair of side cutters, and right here, don't cut the glass, just cut this with a really nice sharp pair of side cutters. Just like that. So now we should be able to kind of sneak our hands in there carefully and be able to lift our glass up, just like that, so we can actually access these bolt holes. I have a case of college just kind of holding the glass up. You can do that with a block of wood or anything you have lying around. You can also do this with the window completely up with a wrench. It's not too bad, I've done that before. So just take a 10mm socket, and remove this clamp. And what I've effectively done is remove the regulator from the window itself. So now this can move completely independently of the window. So the next thing we're going to do, very carefully, you can even have a helper help you do this, it makes it a lot easier, is just take the window and put it all the way up in the door, and then we're going to tape all the way around it. This is the taping step. We're double checking that we are making sure that the regulator doesn't scratch the glass on the way out. I'm not even sure you can get it out without putting the window all the way up like this. And it's just a good precaution. Just make sure you use a lot of tape, paint safe tape, that will hold the window up for you. If you have somebody very reliable, you can just have someone hold it like this. But if they let go, the the window's going to want to fall. And if the window falls, it has the potential to shatter inside of the door, which is the opposite of fun. And there we go, tape step complete. And if you're just joining us because your window was stuck up, go ahead and take these bolts out of the regulator holder on the glass. They'll be all the way up here. So go ahead and remove those, and then you're caught up with the rest of us. So the next thing we're going to do is take my 10mm socket and remove these 3 and these 3 bolts off of our motor and regulator assembly. And then reach in the door, and we can pull out our old assembly and just throw it into the trash. This one's junk. So here is our new regulator and motor assembly. There's a link located down below in the description for your convenience. And look, it's already got bolts loaded into it, so I'm just gonna back them out a touch. There we go, and feed it in exactly the way I took it out. See how easy that was? Grab my impact implement, make sure those are sunken down their home. Do a couple ooga-doogas, not too tight. Then grab the bolts for the regulator assembly. Just get them started. So then making sure all the bolt holes are slinked down. Nice. So you might notice the regulator bracket is all the way down here. That's gonna be difficult, right, to deal with? So I'm gonna show you how I do it. So with the door, just plug it back in, like that, and turn the key to the second position, like turn the ignition on, but don't start it, you don't need to. And then we're gonna take our plug. So here's the power plug from our new regulator. It's a little bit different than our stock one, that's okay. Just plug that in, there we go. And then we can just pull up on the window switch, and it'll put it in a workable position, just like that. Awesome. And then very carefully, I'm gonna remove the tape. I'm gonna hold the glass while I've removed that tape. This is where a helper really comes in handy. And then I'm going to evenly and carefully now, lower the glass just until it is resting on those holders. Oh, perfect, it lined up. So if you look very closely on the window side, there's like a little plastic tang here and here, and this goes for both sides. And that sort of locates it and helps it sit on the bracket properly. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and start the bolt. And then you might notice this one's askew just a touch, so you can just kind of move it. This is why I just started the other one, I didn't tighten it down. Start this one by fingers. And then I'm just gonna snug these down, wrist tight. And I'm not using an electric implement or anything just because I don't like the force of the impact on here, because you could probably crack the glass and that's no good. Just wrist tight is probably sufficient. You don't want these coming off or undone, but you know, you're not holding cylinder heads on. There you go, perfect. So I've already loaded the insulation back on the door panel because we're ready to put our door back together. And the first thing I'm going to do is plug in our electrical connector for the final time. That, lock it into place, excellent. And then I'm going to make sure that the window goes all the way up, which it does. And then I want it all the way down, perfect. And then we can put our cable back in for our door handle. And it's really easy, just load it up, line it up, push the body of it into its home like that, and then a pair of pliers makes this trivial. You can pull on it a little bit and put it in its home, just like that. That was easy. Make sure it works. Mint. So now we're ready to put the door panel back on, and the reason I have this kind of shot here is you'll notice the lock indicator, mine was up, it shouldn't be, have that pushed down. It'll just make your life a lot easier. And then pay attention to this groove that my fingers are in right now, because basically the door is going to hold on to this. This is how it gets its structural rigidity from the top, like this. So you're going to hook on like this, then worry about the bottom. And don't worry if you don't get on the first try. I've been doing this for almost 20 years. I almost never get it on the first try. It's okay. Step one, get the lock indicator in there, and then kind of force it, massage it that way. So once we've hooked on like this, just kind of go around the door. Once you've hooked on the top, just kind of go around. And make sure those body clips are kind of in their home. Don't force anything, you might break something. And then we can start putting our fasteners back. I always like to put the big fasteners back first. So we're doing the door handle pocket first. And tightness on these, really wrist tight is perfectly fine. Like this one's already stripped from someone else. Just wrist tight. This is metal going into plastic. The threads in here are plastic, so really wrist tight, it's fine. And don't forget the little cover. Now we can worry about the T30 Torx behind the door handle. Again, this is just plastic, so keep that in mind. Using my smallest ratchet I have for this size, for 3/8 drive that I have. Yeah, this one. About there. Put the cover back in on the left side first, and then the right. There you go. And then we'll take this 7mm bolt. I'm just gonna put that back in its home. Again, plastic threads, so be ginger. Seriously, I'm using 2 fingers to tighten that down. Perfect. And then we're just gonna take our reflector piece, put that side in first, and then the left side. Awesome. So then we're gonna take this black trim piece and put the bottom of it in first, this groove there, and then just line up the body clips with the body, give it a nice tap, make sure it doesn't come off, and you're good to go. One final test. Looks pretty good. But let's check the auto feature on this car. You should be able to just push this once and it go down all the way and stop. Fixed. So that's how to change a window regulator motor on a 2008 Chevrolet Impala. Very easy, crazy easy. Don't take this to somebody for them to do it for you. They're gonna charge you probably $400 to do what I just did right here. And this was not $400 worth of labor. If I wasn't filming, it'd take me about 20 minutes to do this job. Very, very easy. Something you can totally do at home. No jacks and jack stands, just open the door. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful or interesting at all, please consider becoming a member by clicking that join button below. It's a direct way to help the channel out. Barring that, a like, comment, subscription go a long way in helping my channel out as well, and I so appreciate that. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.